Hello, welcome back to Divinity Said. I'm Divinity. This video is about Nicholas Rekieta, a non-practicing attorney who is on a lot of his own legal hot water in this moment. There might be one defense that I hadn't thought about that Nick Rekieta could use in every case. Well, in both cases he has against him, both his criminal and civil cases. And that is the Affluenza adult defense. If you're unfamiliar with what affluenza is, there was this kid years ago who drunk drove and killed 4 people. And his sentence, after a mental health psychologist testified at his trial, he was sentenced to probation because he didn't understand consequences as part of his affluenza. He was basically too spoiled to understand that what he did had consequences, so they didn't give him any, which makes no sense. It's like that would have been the perfect time to learn. He wasn't even from that affluent of a home. He wasn't like Bill Gates' kid or something. His mom was a nurse and his dad was a roofer. They were just shitty parents. Like, he went to private school. Every time he got in trouble at the private school, the parents showed up and, like, bitched out the school. So he was driving at 13 just because they didn't care. He was just allowed to do whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted. And so they used the affluenza defense then, and it's not actually like a diagnosis. There's no such thing as someone having affluenza. Back in the day when affluenza was spoken about, it was like a general term. It was a broad societal issue. That's what they call it. So affluenza being the desire for more wealth, more power, more fame. What it did was it led to materialism. So they say that the desire for more often leads to anxiety, isolation, and unhappiness. I don't think you're on 5 different drugs and have 2 different wives with a dude on the side if you're generally happy with how things were going. I feel like if you pour copious amounts of liquor into your body and what comes out is disgust for yourself and fellow man, then that's what you have. I don't feel like alcohol turns you into a bad person. I think alcohol helps drop the mask so that people could see the real person. So in Nick Rekieta's case, I do honestly think if he's going to fight this, he needs to get a mental health guy in there telling him, like, he doesn't realize that there are consequences for his actions. And I think that there are elements to this. I thought about, like, breaking it down. What would be the elements to, because it's not a legal theory for real. It's not a mental health deficiency for real. It's just a thought that has been applied and successfully applied to a murder case. So what would the elements be in criminal law? And I would say that you would have to start poor, along those lines gain wealth, power, and success, and eventually spiral into unhappiness with those things attained. In Nick's case, he alleges that he started off poor and in the ghetto.
Eric, you don't know fucking shit about me. I grew up around black people my entire life, man. I grew up in poverty in the fucking hood. I don't flex it because I'm white and gay.
Apparently his family had some great ideas or investments. They became more wealthy. Nick became the benefactor of some of that wealth, and having it turn into this spiral that we actually saw in front of our faces for the last year. Clearly, this is not a happy man, even though we see his stardom, his wealth, and his power, allegedly. I think when you don't have consequences and no one ever tells you no, you get so bored, you want to see how far you can take it. Maybe. I'm sure there's more I could have added to it, but, like, he was poor, and then he wasn't, and then midlife era hit, plus affluenza. I feel like Dr. Schmiegel can get in here and really just make heads roll. Take this to the Supreme Court. It's a winner.